If you think your child is gaming too much, what's next? Here are some quick, at-home strategies you can implement to prevent video gaming from becoming a full-blown addiction. Dr. Joseph, as a parent, what are some of the strategies that they can implement with their child before they seek help from a professional?
So if you find that their reaction isn't appropriate, then perhaps this disorder is more serious than you think it is. For example, if you say, okay, I notice you've been playing for 2 hours and you're not doing your work, try to cut it down to 1 hour. And there is just this reaction that is scary. Then there's a real problem there. I mentioned that kids can become can develop withdrawal symptoms and develop a tolerance to gaming. And so if there is a physiological agitation, that is a huge warning sign. Other warning signs are not as obvious. If you find that your child is lying a lot about what they're doing, typically people don't lie unless they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, right? Or unless they're ashamed or afraid. So if your child is lying to you, then that's a red flag that something is wrong. Also, parents are constantly in touch with the school to learn about their kids' academic progress. So if you've exhausted all of your options, you don't know why your child isn't doing well. You're tutoring them, you're checking in with the teachers, you're checking online to see that they're doing their work, and you still don't know why they're struggling, you gotta search for more answers.
So those are all good. What are some other interventions that parents can utilize to help their kid through this obsession with video games?
So one of the interesting things that inpatient units are doing is pretty much suggesting to parents that there's no online time, so offline time in the home where no one's using the internet, because a lot of these games depend on the internet for usage. So everyone in the home is offline, and they don't have to be doing something together, they can be doing their own thing, but that's the general agreement. There's no internet available. And so remember how I said that a lot of these interventions are familial interventions, they're all in it together. That's a way for a child to feel like they're not the problem. This is a family issue, so we're doing this together.
Well, and like you've mentioned a few times, kids mimic what they see. And so you can't say, well, Charlie, you can't play video games anymore while you're posting pictures on Instagram or checking your email.
Correct.
It's too much of a, you're being too much of a hypocrite. So if everyone's offline, I get how that works in so many ways, yeah.
And let's say that your kid finds a way to get online, right? Because kids are smart. There are parental security measures that parents can utilize on these games, because these the people who've invented these games have these built-in security measures now because gaming has become such a problem. So parents can actually use a separate username and change the settings of the game so that people can't game for more than an hour or 2 hours, whatever you set the limit to. So that's another way that you can limit screen time, potentially prevent an overuse from becoming addiction.
That's good. I don't think most people know that. You opened with ask your child questions. This sounds so simple, right? Like, so, oh, okay, duh, I gotta ask them questions. But that's such a powerful statement, and it's a reoccurring theme in a lot of the series on Med Circle, is that the power of just asking a question is an underutilized, easy, simple tool that everybody has, because you will get an answer. So what are some questions that you should ask your child?
Open-ended, non-judgmental questions. What do you think is happening here? Rather than, you're failing because you're playing video games. First of all, that's not a question.
That's not a question.
It's a judgmental statement.
Yep. So what do you think is happening here? What else?
How can we help?
Oh, I like that.
What's worked for you before? Is there something that I don't know about? Right? You're not judging the child. You're not asking yes or no questions necessarily. You're gathering information. And that leaves the child feeling like they are being heard and understood.
Yeah, and empowered too,
Correct.
to take control of their own life.
Yes.
I really love that. And you say things like, well, we need to decrease their screen time, and we need to check in with the school. And all of those things are things that we probably know, right? It's not like this was some crazy thing that, oh my gosh, I never thought about checking in with the school. But it's sometimes those simple things that are the most powerful. And if you do them, they will work. But a lot of people don't do them because they're too obvious and simple. you know?
Or they're afraid of what they're going to learn.
Yes, or they're afraid of the truth. You know, we were talking off camera. I said, "Oh, I look kind of frumpy in this sweater because I finally have been gaining weight." And I said, "So I got some exercise rings I'm going to use." And then you said, "Yeah, but diet is actually more important than exercising." And right, I know that. It's very simple, and I understand it, but I'm like, I'm going to do something way more difficult, like start exercise rings. We think sometimes like this big complex thing is the thing that we have to do. It's got to be hard and difficult. The expert just told you, simple questions, insightful answers, and simple requests like decreasing screen time can make all the difference in the world and even prevent addiction occurring in your teen or child. Really excellent stuff. Well, in our next episode, we're going to talk about more parenting strategies and tips when you are working with a professional.